I'm a medical oncologist by training, and at the end of my medical oncology training, I went to the US and did some lab research at the University of Virginia for 3 years, came back, and that's really where I was inspired to try and get my own lab. A couple of years into that, I got offered a job. I got headhunted actually to work for Eli Lilly, Australia, as a clinical research physician. And my curiosity got the better of me, and so I worked for them 4.5 days a week and continued clinical work for half a day a week. And at the end of that, I decided to go back and do my PhD, but they couldn't find anybody to replace me, so they kept me on as a consultant for about a year afterwards. My PhD, my interest is in drug development, all things to do with drug development, going from the lab to the clinic, so it's highly translational. Phase 1 trials, biomarkers, back to the lab and so on. And I figured that time in industry wouldn't hurt, and it's turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made, or actually didn't make, because I didn't make it, it just ended up happening. So I'm back in academia now and in clinical practice, but I try and keep a close relationship with drug companies, particularly small biotech companies, and I consult for a couple of them to think about their drugs, how they might develop them, what trials they want to do, what questions they might want to ask. That's it, I think.
Do you want to just tell us a bit more about going back and doing a PhD late?
Yeah, so again, I'm a bit backward. And so because I was interested in research, I went back and did a PhD. And the only reason I did that was because there was a surgical colleague of mine who started an MD, and I figured, bugger that. If he can do an MD, I can do a PhD, whilst working as a doctor. And so it turned out. I did mine part-time. It took 7 years. But I was never in any rush. I was never focused about getting that piece of paper. It was just about the research, answering the questions, getting the skills. To me, that was far more important than the actual qualification. But one thing leads to another. So at the end of the PhD, it opens doors for you, and I encourage you to stick with it.